towards user experience and predictive models that align network behavior with business outcomes. Um, we actually see this more and more.
Okay.
Um, I'm sure that you have seen recent reports. There's been a recent study by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT,
Okay.
a
MIT.
university here in the United States, who
Okay.
said that 95% of AI-related projects will be defunded because when they
Oh,
cannot show business value, when they cannot, you have to be able to show that business value.
business value.
Um,
Okay. Yeah. Mm.
and we're seeing the need for several reasons, because we don't have people or we don't have the experience. Those are the number one and number three issues with CIOs around the world, based on a
Okay.
survey that Gartner has done.
Yeah.
And therefore we have to move to automation, and we have to automate, and automation more than just scripting. We have to move to a more of a protection of, so that the system acts as I would act,
Okay.
to be able to
Yeah.
manage.
Yeah.
And
Uh, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
is there a question, James? Uh,
Yeah, I'm just want to say that I'm sorry this is like a long question, and also want to add some background of why I'm asking. And
okay.
since our company Ridge is actually building some AI platform that can actually have some kind of troubleshooting tools,
Uh-huh.
and we don't want it to be like a traditional. We want it to be like more of a predictive way, and
Right.
that's the kind of the background of this. And we're trying to ask for, of course, you jumped right into the AI and also the MIT's research of the outcome of the AI. We actually very interested in, how you define the outcome of the AI, whether it's like a business outcome to improve their revenue, or it's like more of like a efficiency kind of tool to reduce the cost. So what do you think? Yeah.
So, and that's a great question.
Yeah.
When I talk to CIOs and I talk to enterprises, they
Mm-hmm.
just want to define the end user experience. I want
Okay.
coverage
Yeah.
everywhere. I'm going to be using
Coverage, yes.
video. I
Mm.
want, 10 megabits, etc. Go ahead,
Yes.
James.
Mm. Okay, great. Thank you for the answer. I think also for the first question, the user experience, of course, is most important, and I want to add in, so the metrics for define user experience is very different than some metrics like very professional metrics like coverage, saturation, channel usage, like Wi-Fi, for example. So how we kind of link those dots, like maybe if the channel is good, maybe the experience is good, or sometimes it's not good, and it also depends on endpoints, application. So with the traditional tool, it only shows, let's say, the channel is busy, but the customer really want is that the application is smooth.
That's right.
Do you agree with this? Well, maybe we can actually have some solution for that, and be more focus oriented on this experience part rather than traditional metrics. Yeah.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
The answer, though, that others are using is either an SDK that would be on end user devices that's providing experience information
Yeah.
independent of the human,
Yeah.
or a independent autonomous sensor. Something like, in
Yes.
this case, would be like Marvis Minis from Juniper, but it would
Yes.
be
Yes.
a sensor that can simulate the data, and
Yes.
therefore provide and whether or not the experience is as it needs to be defined. You
Okay.
know, 100 milliseconds latency or below, because the
Exactly.
human can
Yeah.
detect, those
Yes.
kinds of things.
Yeah.
Additionally,
Okay.
you're going to see that there needs to be a layer 4 through 7 capability in addition to the
Yes.
into the network monitoring for applications like Zoom and WebEx and Teams. But
Okay.
those application, Microsoft has an API that'll give you those analytics for layer 4 through 7, as well as the
Okay.
other vendors also.
Yes. Okay. As a matter of fact, we already have layer 4 to 7 capability with our products. And,
Yep.
we're trying to, for just one more extension from this question is that we're trying to build a predictive model. And, because, not everyone wants to add some like SDK on their laptop or on their
Right.
devices. And we're trying to simulate with, let's say, some tools like NS3 for the Wi-Fi, maybe to simulate the package loss and also the conflict in the air interface, and try to kind of provide like build the system before it actually happens, right? And we're trying to tell the customer that if you use this in this way with high density, you won't get a good experience, something like that. And what do you think? Yeah,
So first they want to have the network work the way that they define it.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
so that's paramount, or the first thing.
Okay.
If you're, it's very the reason I say that is it's going to be very difficult
Hmm.
to um, for to be predictive. I mean,
Predictive.
you
Yes.
can't say, well, at 2:45 tomorrow, you're going to have an outage or you're going to be slower. Those types of things are very difficult. They they
Okay.
want they they want to be able to constantly monitor that the solution is providing the user experience and is making the necessary changes
Mm-hmm.
to keep the user experience that very quick reactionary, rather than having the systems down, the end user reports it, they go to
Okay.
TAC logs in, the product support then makes a
Okay.
change.
Mm.
That's just too much. Or
Okay.
too
Great.
slow. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay, great. I think I understand your point. Predictive is very challenging, and trying to reduce the mean time to solution is
Yeah,
already very important. Okay, thank you.
yeah.
Mm.
That,
Okay,
that's
maybe we can move on to the next question. Okay,
sure.
okay, great.
Let me read it for you guys just to make sure we're on the same loop. It says,
Yeah,
as
thank you.
Gen AI becomes increasingly integrated into network management platforms, most current implementations focus on the conversational interface and the generative UIs that help extract insights from existing data or telemetry. However, how does Gartner view the evolution towards fully autonomous AI agents that continuously monitor, optimize, and learn from network behavior, potentially taking over parts of managed service towards through a growing domain expertise?
Okay,
This what we would say is you are correct that there are two types of systems, and
okay,
actually there's a spectrum that links them together. There are a lot of people that say they have AI and
mm-hmm.
only have Gen AI.
Okay,
The conversational interface.
conversation.
We
Yes. Mm.
we discount those.
Okay.
We
Mm.
tell clients
Mm.
that it's nice, but it's not really AI.
Okay. Mm.
It's not what they think AI is, which is more of the intelligence of using the telemetry that's available and providing the business outcome in that
Yeah.
we've identified in question number one, and making sure that that's constantly achieved,
Okay.
through the system and maintained.
Yes.
And we see that that's true, but different people, like I said, different vendors will do different things. And
Okay.
some, like I said, that's where, well, we get these kinds of calls all the time from clients. What
Mm-hmm.
is, XYZ currently doing?
Of course.
Cisco
Yeah.
today, for example, Cisco is a Gen AI solution, not an autonomous self-driving AI solution.
Okay.
Um, so, and they will migrate. I mean, they will advance,
Yeah.
but what they say today is not what they say where they're going. You
I see.
know,
Okay.
and yes, we think that there will be a self-driving capability, so that the AI, we want to train the AI to be us. I think I said that
Mhm.
earlier too. Train it so that it knows, and it's just doing it faster. It's constantly monitoring, like you said, and yes, can take over parts of the managed service operation. And the key for this, and I tell people, there's a key metric here, is you need to take every every support call that your customers give you and see if your AI solution can solve
Okay,
that problem.
I see.
If you can't solve the problem, then you need to get the data to solve the problem and provide the algorithm to, and that's an improvement in your AI system.
I see.
And the ability to measure the efficacy, in this case, the success or the number of problems that we solve. When I solve it for one person, 1,000 other customers will never see that problem, right?
I see. Okay.
So as it
Y-
goes up the curve, it's getting up to the curve to where you either don't have problems, or they're complex, or they need additional data, but you will eventually have enough data that will, you know, the SLA that we define for the
Yes.
system, if there won't be a problem.
Okay.
It'll,
Mm.
the experience will always be, 99.99%.
0.9%. Yes.
So that's
Okay.
the,
Yeah, thank you very much for your answer. And I like the way you're saying that if there's no problem, there's no need to actually build the system, so we can actually solve it from the roots. And also the point you mentioned that Gen UI is getting discounted, and also Cisco, I know they have AI Canvas, and they trying to build like a generative interface, something fancy, but it's not really AI. And we focus on like agentic way of AI rather than generative language models. And if it's like an agent that can actually have this knowledge of solving the problem occurring in the support calls, and then that's like a real automation. So Rich actually has we have like some kind of knowledge base, of more than 10,000 support calls
yeah.
questions already noted down.
So
So
thinking,
we're trying to build some agent that can
yeah,
actually solve all of them. It's like a test. So pass like pass CCIE, we're
yeah,
just let them to pass the 10,000 Regius common issues, network issues, to see if the AI can
yeah.
get the right answer. Yes.
So
Mhm.
training is important,
Yeah.
but the key here is, as we said, some people only have Gen AI, which is not AI, it's just a
Okay.
conversational interface. Then there's a set of people in the middle that
Yeah.
are creating predefined workflows. So
Okay.
I
Workflow.
see
Yes.
this and they
Mm.
will kick off a workflow that does
Yeah.
something. That that's kind of in the middle,
In the
it's
middle.
not.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
there's the AI, trained AI, that's looking to solve the problems,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
it
Mm.
doesn't have the workflow defined for them. And
Yes.
what
Yes.
the
Mm.
and what the end users are saying is, I need both of this defined workflow and AI capability. And
Okay. Mm.
what they're going to do is they want a trust but verify solution. So
Mm.
what they want is they want to see the workflow that the engineers would suggest needs to be implemented based on the problem, and they want to
Okay.
compare that to what the AI system would recommend. And if
I
those
see.
two things are equal, then they'll say, yes, the AI system understands the problem. And if it
Yes.
sees the problem, will allow it to automatically solve the problem. But
I see. Mm.
until it solves the problem and solves it like the engineer does, good or
Yes.
bad, but
Yes.
it does allow them to verify that the AI is thinking like the CCIE or the engineer. You know what I mean?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. That's actually a very good way of thinking, and also the way you think like both the workflow, if I may call it like a RPA, and also another is like a trained system from actually let's say the foundation model, and those two can actually work together. And the customer really want the like a deterministic way of the workflow kind of approach, and also the generative AI will be not the trained AI will be more of a versatile, and also more of a solving problem in this own way. And also they always need the baseline to refer to, so comparing the two solutions together. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you? Sorry, I have to ask this. This is like a very new idea, and do you know if anyone's actually implementing this, or this is like still like a frontier? Yeah.
So it it kind of is frontier, but
Yeah.
people are grasping. The vendors are grasping what the customers want.
Okay.
So the Cisco's of the world right now are only at the workflow phase. So they don't
Workflow.
have the AI capability yet. So
Okay.
they're only here, versus Juniper, which is here, but they
Yeah.
recognize that customers want to validate the
Yeah.
system. So they're actually providing, so right now, everything goes to the support engineer. They're now
Hmm.
providing the documentation of what the engineer workflow would look like, right?
Okay.
And validating so that the customer can say, "Here's my problem. How would the engineer solve it?" And
Yeah.
validate that the AI, Marvis in this case, actually
Yeah.
solves it the same way.
Yeah, great. Thank you. And then the last question about this actually is how the AI or whatever system is evolving, right? So they have to sometimes they make mistakes, and they have to learn from the mistakes, and next time they don't behave like this. From the way workflow works, I can fully understand that we have a workflow that does not work as we want. We can fix the bug. We can make it work. But if it's like a trained model, it's not like a deterministic. If we make the mistake, we want to give it some information, try to have it, learn from it. But next time we can only hope that they don't make the same mistake again. But it's not 100% sure. So that's kind of the way AI works. But we have to maybe a customer wants someone to be responsible. Maybe they want the AI to be responsible, but maybe it's not there yet. We're trying to find some solution that customer can accept. Considering that the AI is not like is behaving a little bit randomly. Yes.
And I think the way that we get there is that it's not a all or nothing acceptance of the AI. It's
Okay.
a case by case issue where it so if somebody has a problem and the system solves the problem, it what will happen the first time, so it'll be a slower curve in building the trust,
Yes.
is the AI will come back and say, I see this problem, here's the workflow, here's what we
Yes.
recommend that you do. you
I see.
know do I have your permission that next time I see that I will just fix it? And you can
I
say
see.
yes or no,
Yeah.
so that you will constantly go, okay, I trust what you're doing, yes, check off on that. Next time you never see it, and then you
Mhm.
go, but you'll get asked every
Mm.
issue that the system would be making changes. It would validate that oh, yes, it's okay. And
I
then
see. Yeah.
slowly there won't be any more. It's like the efficacy, graph. Slowly you'll get to
Exactly.
the
Mm.
top where
Mm.
AI is doing all the changes and
Yeah.
there are no problems, and you're not having to answer additional questions. You know what I mean?
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
can we move?
Yeah. That's about the second question, and maybe we can move on to the third. Yeah.
Okay. Given that Wi-Fi 7 delivers unprecedented throughput, yet many enterprises still lack applications that fully utilize these speed gains, Ruji has focused on developing a distributed antenna Wi-Fi architecture that aims to eliminate roaming, expand sustainable coverage, and simplify network management by requiring fewer access points to cover larger areas. How does Gartner foresee a role of such distributed architecture evolving versus traditional access points with topologies in future enterprise deployments? This is a good question also, and there are a couple of ways of doing this.
Okay.
You're doing, but I mean, we can change the gain of the antenna. We can change the transmit power. Okay, well, which is actually changing the gain. And on those situations, you're going to get a lower modulation coding scheme, which means less throughput for the
Yes.
device, which is in a larger coverage area technically.
Yeah.
But there are applications, and think warehouse distribution, large coverage areas, where if I can turn up the power, I only need a 1 to 2 megabit I don't need a 10 gigabit throughput. I need 1 to 2 megabit.
Right.
And if I've got those kinds of applications, people want the option of expanding that coverage. By the way, this is kind of the reason that in some parts of the world, private CBRS or private 5G scenarios is coming about, because those situations are allowing the higher transmit with the lower throughput, and that's exactly what the trade-off is. So if we can do that more with Wi-Fi, it will that will be very beneficial to the client. And our guidance to our customers is, in the beginning, is to define the user experience for the class of customers that are going to be using the network. So, and what people find is they really don't need anything more than 2 to 3 megabit.
Exactly.
And yes, we advise them to say, well, let's plan for the future and look for, say, 10 megabit. But in 20 years, I haven't seen applications approaching that kind of throughput or requirement. Now we may see sensor inputs and or certain applications. There's getting to be high definition security camera processing, but those may be also limited to certain areas of the network, or not always specific to every part of the network. So you could have smaller and larger coverage, not a uniform coverage area, where we could have, depending on what devices. And typically security cameras with high definition are not roaming or mobile in those scenarios. So that way we can have a more predictive solution with a smaller coverage area for what would be a higher throughput capability, which would not be the end user and the necessary application data requirements for most of the people. Does that make sense? Do you see?
Yeah, that's great. Actually, and sorry, this question is actually a different domain. It's like more of a hardware and also Wi-Fi. And we just designed this question just trying to ask something new. Like I know everyone is asking about AI, but we want trying to build something useful with Wi-Fi 7. And also just to add on more points about this question background is that we're trying to develop a system that actually, as exactly what you said, like CBRS or private 5G, we're trying to use the DAS, like a distributed antenna system from that technology, and apply this to Wi-Fi. So that's basically the background of this, and we're trying to expand the coverage, but also, of course, sacrificing the throughput while meeting some warehouse scenarios, for example. And at the same time trying to make the management a little bit easier, because you're basically managing less channels, and the cell size of the same channel is maybe larger, and you have less cells, but still have a good throughput, and especially for the roaming, it's seamless because the signal source is centralized. So that's basically we're trying to find, and I'm glad that you have the thought that makes you think this makes sense, and also we're trying to evolve in this direction as well. So that's basically what we're trying to do, and um, I can't think of any questions for now. Let me see. Okay. So based on this, I know some vendors back in those days already have some ideas about this. What do you think? This direction in this age of Wi-Fi 7, maybe of Wi-Fi 8, the next generation. This solution might be long lasting, or it may just be for a certain kind of period of time, and then it goes back to the mainstream Wi-Fi. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, the applications that are lower density and lower throughput have existed and still exist. So and so like when I advise clients distributing an access, or trying to do a Wi-Fi in a warehouse or distribution center or manufacturing, or even outdoor areas, and it's I talk to them about that specific solution of of making sure that we're turning up the transmit power, introducing gain into the antennas, but and but that's a traditional capability in our in the way that we provide the guidance. Now, it's important to know too, like I said, in those environments, I also tell clients, if you don't have an external antenna, then don't include that vendor. I've seen too many Cisco environments where they propose a Meraki internal antenna in an omnidirectional capability, and something that needs an external Yagi for the high racking capability. And so that there are different use cases that that need different instruments of implementation. You can't use one size fits all.
Of course.
And that's why it's important.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I think that's all question from my side. I think there's one extra question if you received that. Yep.
The last question is about you like to know how vendors like Huawei and the iMaster NCE meet the operation and maintenance needs of different types of customers. What is the unique highlights do they have that are worthy of learning and emulating? Some of the things, Huawei's done a very good job with their Wi-Fi. I will tell you, probably and better than most of the U.S. companies that we see, or anybody else out, globally. One of the things that we feel is very nice is they actually have a VIP capability that that is very unique, such that it's a QoS overlay at layer 1 through 4, or 1 through 3, 1 through 2 probably, 1 and 2, because it's not a security thing. But what it does is allows you to put an access point in the CEO's office, and he has dedicated access, whereas people walking by, or while they may have a stronger RSSI, they don't attach or associate to that particular access point. And that's done at the radio level or the MAC level, and it's not a protocol capability, and it's not a .11e QoS implementation either.
Right.
But it does provide value and solve a business problem for dedicated implementations. While I use it as a VIP solution in the in healthcare, excuse me, for the CIO, I
CIO,
would do
yes.
this. I would do the same thing for a MRI machine that has high,
Of course.
throughput in
Yeah.
healthcare.
Yes.
Maybe an enterprise printer
Yes.
that's used a lot in a building.
Yes.
E911 capability in
Mm.
the in the for hospital for people that need emergency services that are required.
Yes.
So those are some of the capabilities there. That's all
Yeah.
that I can give you right now. We are at
Okay.
the top of the hour, and I need to
Mm.
go to my next inquiry. I hope this has
Okay.
been helpful for you today.
Yes. Is there any room for an extra one question only? Yeah.
Very quickly. So
Okay. Yes. I want to ask the Huawei's maybe QoS functions. It's the same as like a DHCP tags, or they can actually prioritize based on users with their time slice of the Wi-Fi mechanism.
I don't know the specific
Okay.
implementation,
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
because it
Yeah.
could be done multiple ways, but all of
Okay.
which you said. Like I said, I know it's just not a .11e implementation.
Not
So
yeah, not doubling. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
so
Thank you very much. Yeah.
thank you. Have a good day. Okay. Good
You
rest
too.
of the evening. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right, thank you much.